created the moving and the unmoving, in God, the heavenly man, and the human being, as well as in the atom of matter, is withdrawn entirely within the atom upon the plane of abstraction. This plane of abstraction is a different one for the entities involved. A. For the physical permanent atom, it is the atomic level. B. For man, it is the causal vehicle. C. For the heavenly man, it is the second plane of monadic life, his habitat. D. For the logos, it is the plane of body. All these mark the points for the disappearance of the unit into pralaya. We need here to remember that it is always pralaya, when viewed from below. From the higher vision, that sees the subtler continuously overshadowing the dense when not in objective manifestation, pralaya is simply subjectivity, and is not that which is not, but simply that which is esoteric. Second, the etheric double of a man, a planetary logos, and a solar logos, being shattered, becomes non-polarized as regards its indweller, and permits therefore of escape. It is, to word it otherwise, no longer a source of attraction, nor a focal magnetic point. It becomes non-magnetic, and the great law of attraction ceases to control it. Hence disintegration is the ensuing condition of the form. The ego ceases to be attracted by its form on the physical plane, and, proceeding to inbreathe, withdraws its life from out of the sheath. The cycle draws to a close, the experiment has been made, the objective, a relative one from life to life and from incarnation to incarnation, has been achieved, and there remains nothing more to desire. The ego, or the thinking entity, loses interest therefore in the form, and turns his attention inward. His polarization changes, and the physical is eventually dropped. The planetary logos likewise in his greater cycle, the synthesis, or the aggregate of the tiny cycles of the cells of his body, pursues the same course. He ceases to be attracted downward or outward, and turns his gaze within. He gathers inward the aggregate of the smaller lives within his body, the planet, and severs connection. Outer attraction ceases and all gravitates towards the center instead of scattering to the periphery of his body. In the system, the same process is followed by the solar logos. From his high place of abstraction, he ceases to be attracted by his body of manifestation. He withdraws his interest and the two pairs of opposites, the spirit and the matter of the vehicle, dissociate. With this dissociation the solar system, that son of necessity, or of desire, ceases to be, and passes out of objective existence. Third, this leads finally to the scattering of the atoms of the etheric body into their primordial condition. The subjective life, the synthesis of will and love taking active form, is withdrawn. The partnership is dissolved. The form then breaks up. The magnetism that has held it in coherent shape is no longer present, and dissipation is complete. Matter persists, but the form no longer persists. The work of the second logos ends, and the divine incarnation of the Son is concluded. But the faculty or inherent quality of matter also persists, and at the end of each period of manifestation, matter, though distributed again into its primal form, is active intelligent matter plus the gain of objectivity, and the increased radiatory and latent activity which it has gained through experience. Let us illustrate. The matter of the solar system, when undifferentiated, was active intelligent matter, and that is all that can be predicated of it. This active intelligent matter was matter qualified by an earlier experience, and colored by an earlier incarnation. Now this matter is in form, the solar system is not in pralaya but in objectivity, his objectivity having in view the addition of another quality to the logoic content, that of love and wisdom. Therefore at the next solar pralaya, at the close of the 100 years of Brahma, the matter of the solar system will be colored by active intelligence, and by active love. This means literally, that the aggregate of solar atomic matter will eventually vibrate to another key than it did at the first dawn of manifestation. We can work this out in connection with the planetary logos and the human unit, for the analogy holds good. We have a correspondence on a tiny scale in the fact that each human life period sees a man taking a more evolved physical body of a greater responsiveness, tuned to a higher key, of more adequate refinement, and vibrating to a different measure. In these three thoughts lies much information, if they are carefully studied and logically extended. D. By the transmutation of the violet into the blue. This we cannot enlarge on. We simply make the statement, and leave its working out to those students whose karma permits and whose intuition suffices. E. By the withdrawal of the life, the form should gradually dissipate. The reflex action here is interesting to note, for the greater builders, and devas who are the active agents during manifestation, and who hold the form in coherent shape, transmuting, applying and circulating the pranic emanations, likewise lose their attraction to the matter of the form, and turn their attention elsewhere. On the path of outbreathing, whether human, planetary or logoic, these building devas, on the same ray as the unit, desiring manifestation, or on a complementary ray, are attracted by his will and desire, and perform their office of construction. On the path of inbreathing, whether human, planetary or logoic, they are no longer attracted, and the form begins to dissipate. They withdraw their interest, and the forces, likewise entities, who are the agents of destruction, carry on their necessary work of breaking up the form. They scatter it as it is occultly expressed to the four winds of heaven, or to the regions of the four breaths, a fourfold separation and distribution. A hint is here given for careful consideration. Though no pictures have been drawn of deathbed scenes nor of the dramatic escape of the palpitating etheric body from the center in the head, as might have been anticipated, yet some of the rules and purposes governing this withdrawal have been mentioned. We have seen how the aim of each life, whether human, planetary or solar, should be the effecting and the carrying out of a definite purpose. This purpose is the development of a more adequate form for the use of the spirit. And when this purpose is achieved, then the indweller turns his attention away, and the form disintegrates, having served his need. This is not always the case in every human life nor even in each planetary cycle. The mystery of the moon is the mystery of failure. This leads, when comprehended, to a life of dignity and offers an aim worthy of our best endeavor. When this angle of truth is universally recognized, as it will be when the intelligence of the race suffices, then evolution will proceed with certainty, and the failures be less numerous. Division D, Kundalini and the Spine. Kundalini 62. Kundalini, the serpent power or mystic fire. It is called the serpentine, or annular power on account of its spiral-like working, or progress in the body of the ascetic, developing the power in himself. It is an electric fiery occult, or poetic power, the great pristine force which underlies all organic and inorganic matter. H. P. Blavatsky. 6063 at rest, that is, in the form of static potential energy. Kundalini Shakti in individual bodies is power at rest, or the static center round which every form of existence, as moving power, revolves. The serpent power, by Arthur Avalon. 61 and the spine. I. Kundalini and the three triangles. 1. In the head. 2. In the body. 3. At the base of the spine. I. The arousing of Kundalini. Very briefly, owing to the impossibility of revealing much on this necessarily dangerous subject, we will consider the subject of Kundalini and the spine. We must remember here that we are dealing with the etheric counterpart of the spine, and not with the bony structure which we call the spine or spinal column. This is a fact not sufficiently recognized by those who treat of the matter. Too much emphasis has been laid on the three spinal channels that compose the threefold spinal cord. These channels are important in connection with the nervous system of the man, but in relation to the matter in hand, they are not primarily so important as the etheric channel, which is the unit enclosing these three. Therefore, we must strictly remember that we are dealing with A. The etheric channel, B. The fire that passes up the channel, C. The conjunction of this fire with the radiatory energizing fire of the physical body at the point between the shoulder blades, D. Their united ascension into the head, E. Their blending eventually with the monasic fire, which energizes the three head centers.